Tzu Chi's honor for building Cenkareng Great Love Village and his dedication to care for the locals. Five factory residents in southern Laos hosted a blessing ceremony to thank for Tzu Chi's compassion. Candidate highlights, I'm Maggie Tsai. Thank you for joining us. Indonesia, Tzu Chi volunteers helped clean up Cenkareng River in 2002 before building Cenkareng Great Love Village for the impoverished residents. In addition, the volunteers helped the residents seek medical treatment and pursue an education. Their hard work has won the government's recognition, as the governor of Jakarta has awarded Tzu Chi with the Contribution Award.
Jakarta is the center of economy, culture, and politics of Indonesia, with a population of more than 10 million.
We hope to improve the living conditions of the residents who live in remote regions, or residents with poor financial conditions. We hope everyone's life can become better. We hope they all enjoy good health.
17 years ago, Tzu Chi volunteers helped clean up Cenkareng River. A year later, Cenkareng Great Love Village was inaugurated. In addition, the volunteers helped the residents seek medical attention and pursue an education. Tzu Chi's efforts have earned the government's recognition, and they have been given a contribution award for lifting people out of poverty.
Terima kasih terlibat langsung.
We appreciate Tzu Chi's efforts. We honor every charity organization that works to alleviate the burdens of the impoverished residents. For instance, the Great Love Village, which you built, is a very good role model.
Relokasi warga di mana warga punya tempat yang lebih baik, itu adalah salah contoh yang baik.
Apa yang telah kami lakukan telah diapresiasi oleh pemerintah, dalam hal ini khususnya.
We are very happy that our efforts have won the praise of the government, especially the recognitions of the governor of Jakarta. In the future, we need to stay spirited and continue to help the government and benefit the public. We will do our best to give the people necessary and timely help.
Yang bisa memberikan sedikit bantuan-bantuan kepada masyarakat seperti itu.
Tzu Chi volunteers' years of hard work have won the government's recognition. They vow to continue to spread love to forgotten corners of society.
The arrival of winter means the night in Osaka, Japan gets colder every day. This is the third year Tzu Chi volunteers and iLink Community Service Association work together to distribute warm clothes and hot food to homeless people. iLink Shelter also made posters to encourage homeless people to give a little donation to help others in need.
Besides providing hot food every month during winter, Osaka Tzu Chi volunteers also prepared warm clothes for homeless people. This is their third year volunteering at this venue. The chef of the shelter made posters to promote charities and added the last sentence on the poster to encourage people to give a little contribution.
いつもよくしてもらっていますし、そしてTzu Chiの皆さんが独自に自分たちの活動としてね。
Tzu Chi has been helping us a lot. Even if they don't work with us, they could still get along and be friendly with the homeless here, which is very good.
素晴らしいことだというふうに思っています。
Tzu Chi prepared more than 300 packages of warm clothes and distribute them when the homeless were waiting in line for a shower, so that after the shower they could wear these new clothes up and feel the warmth right when they needed it.
毎回同じことばっかり言うんですけども、とにかく続けたいと。
These homeless really need these supplies. We hope that these caring venues could last and continue to provide help to those in need.
そうだと思います。
The homeless formed into 3 lines themselves, waiting to receive supplies. The sound of coins never stops in the donation box. Even little money can make great deeds. Tzu Chi has collected $120 in total at a distribution venue. Besides holding a distribution at the shelter, volunteers also delivered some food and supplies on streets, giving the homeless warm ginger soup and winter supplies, which moved them and volunteers themselves deeply with tears.
By seeing the homeless living conditions, we feel very lucky to have such happiness in life. Therefore, we should cherish our happiness and share it to others.
We made contributions without looking for any rewards, and we understand their struggles, so we want to warm their hearts with love.
Since volunteers provided help with friendly greetings, the streets in Osaka were full of warmth and love during this cold winter.
Japanese Tzu Chi volunteers went to Miyagi Prefecture holding a year-end gratitude event at the original affected area from the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami. When the couple joined Tzu Chi due to the encouragement from the wife's brother recently visited Japan from Malaysia, and they attended the Tzu Chi's event together.
那时候就有知道说，在日本要做发放。 在311的时候要做发放，希望说，是不是有这个因缘，把握这个因缘让姐姐可以付出，让姐姐接触慈济。更何况我们是有福的人姐姐因为那次的灾难，姐姐也没有受灾。
Ke Suchen is a Malaysian who encouraged his sister and brother-in-law to join Tzu Chi through a phone call.
弟女房から聞いて、そのボランティア。
I was introduced to Tzu Chi by my wife, knowing that these volunteers pay their own money to help others. These volunteers are bodhisattvas on earth, so I feel very grateful to join these Tzu Chi's events.
ありがたいなと思ってたんですね。
8 years after the tsunami, the family still stays in touch with Tzu Chi. At the end of the year, Tzu Chi volunteers held a year-end gratitude event at the affected area, Miyagi Prefecture.
We wish to have more Tzu Chi volunteers so that there will be more good people in our society.
ツチの活動が幅広いし、その中に心がすごくあって、しかもそれがこう
We knew that Tzu Chi's events were very love-caring, and it was usually not temporary events but long-term dedications and companionships, which is not easy. I'm touched by Taiwanese volunteers' passion, love, and friendly acts.
Volunteers never forgot these affected residents, and they met each other once again after years, connecting hearts with love.
China is getting colder in midwinter. In Kunshan, Jiangsu, since the weather was still warm, Tzu Chi volunteers invited the solitary seniors in the local senior home to come enjoy some outdoor activities with them. Volunteers treated them as their own grandparents and enjoy having a close connection with them.
It was the day of minor snow in lunar calendar, but the weather in Jiangsu was still warm. Tzu Chi volunteer invited the senior in the local senior home to join outdoor activities. A 95-year-old grandma Tang was standing at the balcony smiling. Volunteer went to chat with her. Grandpa Zhou liked to stay in his bed, so volunteers and staff of the senior home encouraged him to get up and have some fun outside. After a long talk with him, he finally got out of his bed. Zhou Xiaogang, who came to the senior home for the first time, helped cut seniors' nails carefully.
They really need someone to care for them. We are all human beings and will get old one day. I hope that everyone can come to visit, especially when we are young. We should come to join this kind of charitable event.
From now on, we should follow in their footsteps to promote our Chinese beautiful virtues and pass it on to the next generation.
The average age of the members in the Northeast Yanga Dance Club has exceeded 60. They wore colorful clothes and danced happily, bringing joyful energy to the resident at the senior home.
In Fuyuan Ruisui Township, Grandma Huang lives with her daughter who has mental challenges. The staff from Yuli Tzu Chi Hospital helped them to clean their house to welcome the upcoming New Year.
Volunteers brushed and cleaned all the dirt on the floor diligently in every corner of Grandma Huang's house. Grandma Huang lives in Fuyuan, Hualien. Although she is old, she has to take care of her daughter, who has mental challenges. Therefore, Yuli Tzu Chi Hospital mobilized 33 medical colleagues to help Grandma clean up.
I see the love of my colleagues and I'm very grateful to come to this home cleaning event, giving Grandma a tidy place to celebrate New Year.
Volunteers cleaned the kitchenwares in her garden. They also painted the walls and placed spring couplets for her. Now Grandma has a comfortable place to welcome the upcoming New Year.
Typhoon Kamuri hit Laos Island at the beginning of this month, causing severe damage. Many fishermen along the coastal area of Bulan lost their homes and boats after the seawater washed it away, and many schools' buildings were also destroyed. City volunteers visited the local government, discussing further emergency aid from this assessment.
After Typhoon Kamuri hit Philippines, the Bula town of Sorsogon province was severely damaged. Manila Tzu Chi volunteers formed an assessment team visiting the affected area along the coast. After seeing the situation, they were worried for the residents.
Their boats were damaged due to the seawater intrusion. Although the water level was not high, many houses were destroyed along the coastal area. We feel very sorry for those affected residents.
The local fishermen couldn't continue their business after the disaster. Marlin's family was one of them, who lived in a 140-square-foot tiny house. Their roof and most walls were destroyed after the typhoon, and her grandchild also caught a cold after the disaster. The severe loss made her worried about her family's future.
Before the typhoon, we covered our precious belongings with canvas. However, they were all washed away by the waves. Now we lost our house and boat, and my son cannot go fishing anymore.
75-year-old senior Jesus Gadulo lost his house due to the seawater intrusion. After the typhoon, he lost everything he earned.
We have lived here since 1960s and have never seen any seawater intrusion here before. My son and I were not thinking of evacuating, but when we saw the water level rising, we had no choice but to leave our house.
Since there are no local Tzu Chi volunteers in Sorsogon province, Tzu Chi asked the local Chinese businessman to assist their assessment, and later on they visited the local government authorities together.
I feel very sad seeing these affected residents, and I want to help them. But I know my strength is limited, so I joined the disaster assessing mission with Tzu Chi volunteers and had learned more about the situation. These affected residents felt comforted after seeing our care for them, and I really hope that we could help them to solve these difficulties soon.
Over 70,000 houses were partially destroyed, and over 15,000 houses all over the province was totally destroyed. And we're in the stage of recovery and rebuilding. And we need help insofar as capacitating our people to rebuild their homes and their lives as well.
Manila Tzu Chi volunteers have completed their initial disaster assessment in Sorsogon province and hopes to return soon to alleviate their suffering.
In September of this year, southern Laos experienced heavy rainfall, which led to flooding with many local farmers affected by this disaster. Tzu Chi came to assist in their recovery shortly after and returned in mid-December once more to continue the aid. This time during the distribution, the locals reciprocated Tzu Chi's goodwill with a blessing ceremony for the volunteers.
Using the language the volunteers understand, the locals express their gratitude. They have also asked deities from the local temple to help bring about a blessing ceremony of the highest honor. Tzu Chi is here in southern Laos once more to help the farmers who have been through a disaster. The farmers who last time received cooking oil and sugar from the volunteers are able to get rice to eat and rice seeds to help their harvest.
In Sawalnake province, the 381 tons of rice is going to 5 main areas, where there are 16 villages.
The locals tie a sash on the volunteers and say something auspicious to repay Tzu Chi for all their kindness.
They present you with their best wishes. Everyone sends theirs to you and does so by trying a string on your hand. But I'm not sure about the meaning of the egg. I'm pretty sure it's also a blessing of some kind.
祝福就是给身体健康，对，对，身体健康的，很感恩。
The volunteers also took this opportunity to share some conservation efforts with the locals by using the pen they brought with them.
Do you know what this pen is made from? PET bottle.
In total, towards the end of the year, 7 Nankat Province and Champasak Province will receive 1,144 tons of rice and 616 tons of rice seeds to support the farmers. So that next year, while waiting for the time it takes for the rice crops to grow and harvest, these farmers won't go hungry.
American Dr. Will Tuttle is the author of the best-selling book, The World Peace Diet. He's currently giving speeches all over the world promoting the benefits of being a vegan. During his stay in Malaysia, he visited the Kuala Lumpur Tzu Chi Hall.
Best-selling author of the book, The World Peace Diet, Dr. Will Tuttle visited Kuala Lumpur Tzu Chi Hall during the Malaysia stop on his Asian tour.
You make sure you do not mix it with other items.
The vegetarian exhibition at the Tzu Chi Hall uses technology to promote the benefits of being vegetarian. It turns out this concept is very similar to Dr. Will Tuttle's idea.
I've been a vegan for 39 years. When I see Tzu Chi, the emphasis is on love and helping others, which is really what veganism is. You know, veganism is about love and helping others. That's what it is. Same thing.
If it is a celebration without sacrificing anyone, would that be the true celebration?
By not killing animals for food, this could be a move for world peace, influencing modern people to go vegetarian.
When we're eating an organic, whole food, plant-based diet, then that's creating the foundation for world peace. Especially when we're eating animal-based foods, then there's so much violence towards animals and towards other human beings, towards ourselves.
No matter going vegan or doing good deeds, as long as we make a contribution sincerely, people could feel the beauty of virtue through taking actions.
The holiday season is here, and Chiayi Tzu Chi volunteers hosted a year-end blessing ceremony at the Tzu Chi Hall for community residents. Also, some volunteers dressed as vegetable outside the venue were the spotlight of the event. It's the festive holiday season. Chiayi Tzu Chi volunteers invited community residents to come to Tzu Chi Hall to celebrate with the Tzu Chi big family. These people dressed as vegetables greet guests with cheerfulness after they disembark from the bus.
Dressing as vegetables is very adorable. We want everyone to know that eat fruits and vegetables are wonderful. It's great to eat a vegetarian diet. At the venue, an Erhu group opened this event. Tzu Chi volunteer Li Wuxue and his wife went on the stage to share their joy of serving.
Since I joined with my wife as a volunteer, we did everything together, and we do meaningful things without asking for anything in return.
I'm very touched that my husband is willing to support me and accompany me to do volunteer work. Dharma Master from Tzu Chi Abode also distributed the red envelope of wisdom and blessing. The 3 rice seeds on the envelope were planted by medical staff from the Tzu Chi Hospital. 79-year-old Li Gao Shuzhu comes to receive the blessing every year with joy. I'm a happy volunteer, and that's all I want. I want to make good connections with everyone before I become a Bodhisattva. Everyone cherishes the good blessings and wishes for a better new year for each other. Doing public good requires action, and it also needs help of many people. Chen Yijun set up a weaving short shop which used scraps from a Yunlin towel factory. The workshop stimulates women's creativity and environmental protection and was chosen as part of the Tzu Chi Foundation's second Youth Public Welfare Plan.
大家好，我是全职妈妈，
我是3个小孩的妈妈，
我是怀了9个月身孕的妈妈，
我是蜡烛2头烧的妈妈，也是造福员。这是我做的成品，这个是框织，这个是笔记本，
这是用我编织做成的口巾包和手账本。
口巾包跟框织、
提袋还有零钱包。一般的线怎么可能会知道断掉？
哇，那个好像韩国。
最好看的是这个球。
These modern weavers have used handicrafts to transform their lives.
Did you start selling them in Shejia district? Definitely not. You can't just sell here. We must start selling in urban areas or Taipei. These areas are more receptive to our higher value product.
Even though she is 9 months pregnant, Chen Yijun drove from Tainan Shejia to Yunlin's Huwei to collect towel scraps.
Before, we had about 5 kilograms a day of scraps that we would throw directly into garbage truck. That's because we don't do this type of recycling here.
Despite being very pregnant, Ms. Chen patiently collected cotton batting. The amount of each collection was about 5 kilograms.
This batch was just cleaned as it is relatively clean. Basically, we don't need to clean it anymore. We can use it all. But this batch does need more processing as there has been some oil, sand, garbage, and wire mixed in.
The threshold for entry into hand knitting process is not very high, but it takes a bit of work to make the recycled cotton a usable fabric material.
This cotton batting has very short fibers, so we usually add some wool because wool has long fibers. We combine the two and create something interesting twisted yarn effects.
By putting wool and cotton into different layers, one can slowly combine them into long fibers.
对，然后就一层一层的铺上去，再刷一下应该就可以了。然后再让它刷得更服帖一点，往下拉一点，对，然后再卷。
Twisting the yarn with a small spinning machine, slowly the yarn of different thicknesses and color comes out. This is the first lesson for modern weavers to learn about handmade textiles.
他们是
They are full-time mothers. Sometimes they may be weaving and focusing on certain things, but after I came here, I found that it was completely different from what I thought. These community mothers actually have a lot of their own ideas and can be quite creative.
对，而且创造力真的还蛮足够的。
Wang Yanhui, who is married to her husband from Tainan Shejia, focuses on children and learns how to make fabrics for children.
Anyway, if we do it and children will use it, I think it's okay.
In order to learn to make fabrics, his mother of 3, Lin Meiyin, traveled from Tainan City to Shejia.
It's also training us with a second area of expertise. This can help me if I want to start a business or something in the future.
And Chen Yishu, a caregiver, wanted to bring her work to the people that she cared for.
It's very stress-free. It's a quiet activity and your head is empty. You can fully integrate your mind into your work.
What started as something to benefit the public has now led to a group of devoted weavers who are making their dreams come true and showing everyone that their work is very worthy of recognition by the public.
Tzu Chi volunteers invited the public to join the year-end blessing ceremony to pray for a blissful new year. Take a look and see you next time.